Welcome to today's episode, where we delve into the pressing issues of our time with clarity and depth. This week, our focus turns to one of the most significant and volatile regions in the world, Gaza. Recent developments have marked a critical escalation in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Gaza, with profound implications not just for those directly involved, but for global politics, humanitarian efforts, and international law. The conflict in Gaza has entered a new, highly consequential phase following an order by the Israeli Prime Minister for forces to expand control over much of the territory. This decision marks a substantial shift in the military campaign, moving from targeted operations to a broader territorial incursion. The impact of this escalation is already being felt, with continued airstrikes resulting in civilian casualties, including the devastating loss of children. This is more than just a battlefield maneuver. It represents a deepening of the humanitarian crisis in a region already fraught with suffering and instability. To understand the gravity of this situation, we must place it within the broader context of the conflict's history. Gaza has been the epicenter of repetitive cycles of violence, with hostilities flaring up, leading to military engagements, and then dissipating into fragile ceasefires. Each round of conflict leaves the region more devastated, the humanitarian conditions more dire, and the prospects for peace more remote. The decision to seize approximately 70% of Gaza's territory is not a mere tactical move. It signals a strategic pivot with potentially far-reaching consequences. One of the immediate implications of this territorial expansion is the likely impact on humanitarian aid and displacement. As the fighting intensifies, access for aid organizations becomes increasingly restricted, complicating efforts to deliver essential supplies to a population already in desperate need. Moreover, as territory changes hands, displacement patterns are likely to shift, creating further instability for families caught in the crossfire. The ongoing military operations also raise significant questions about the governance of these areas and how any future negotiations might unfold in light of these new realities on the ground. The broader geopolitical implications are equally significant. The actions in Gaza sit at the intersection of several global concerns. They touch on the laws of armed conflict, the protection of civilians, and regional stability. With each new development, there is a ripple effect that influences diplomatic relations in the Middle East, affects domestic politics in countries allied with the parties involved, and shapes global public opinion. This is a conflict that holds the attention of the world, not only because of the immediate humanitarian tragedy, but because of its potential to reshape regional and international dynamics. Internationally, the escalation in Gaza could lead to increased scrutiny and criticism from governments and institutions around the world. Civilian casualties and worsening humanitarian conditions inevitably draw the attention of human rights organizations and international bodies tasked with upholding the conventions of war. These entities play a crucial role in influencing public discourse and potentially guiding diplomatic efforts toward de-escalation and negotiation. However, achieving a decisive diplomatic breakthrough has proven elusive in the past, and the current trajectory suggests that the path to peace may be more challenging than ever. As we consider the long-term implications, the question of what comes next remains open and fraught with uncertainty. The potential for longer-term military occupation-like conditions in parts of Gaza is a scenario that could have profound effects on the political landscape, both within the region and beyond. It could place additional pressure on humanitarian organizations struggling to meet the growing needs of the displaced populations, while also intensifying the scrutiny from the international community. For the Israeli leadership, this new phase of conflict may have significant political ramifications. Decisions made in the heat of conflict can shape political futures, affect ongoing hostage negotiations, and influence the strategic balance in the region. As we watch these events unfold, it becomes clear that the stakes are high and the outcomes uncertain. In conclusion, the situation in Gaza is a complex and dynamic crisis with profound humanitarian, political, and international ramifications. It challenges us to consider not only the immediate impacts, but also the long-term consequences for regional stability and global diplomacy. As we continue to monitor developments, it is crucial that we remain informed and engaged, understanding that the outcomes here have the potential to reshape not just the region, but the broader contours of international relations. Thank you for joining us today as we navigate these challenging topics with the seriousness they deserve. Stay informed, stay engaged, and join us next time for more in-depth analysis.